if you're a student and you've been basically, eating ramen for the past like 6 months, like having your own business that generates $500,000 and where you can pay yourself $100,000 of that and continue growing it into $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $5 million business, that's huge. I think it comes in, it's because of this like fake narrative that everyone's bought into, right? Like you build a company, 3 years later, you sell it, you're a billionaire, you buy like a mansion. There's so much that's not being said behind every single one of those success stories that's not being shown, and that's basically oversimplifying the process of building a startup. And I think that for entrepreneurs, it's just super important to understand that, this is a game that has different stages, right? And so if you're a student and you basically like imagine if you built a business, and this is so doable, that generates $500,000 a year, and you can take, let's say you have basically a profit margin where you're able to at the end of that make $100,000 a year personally, and you're just coming out of and you can work for yourself and you don't have invest. Like that is a lot of what people are looking for in entrepreneurship, but people have been sold into this story of like, oh yeah, you have this like 10 to $100 million exit minimum. And so I think it's like, well, wait. If you're a student and you've been basically, eating ramen for the past like 6 months, like having your own business that generates $500,000 and where you can pay yourself $100,000 of that and continue growing it into $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $5 million business, that's huge.
That's right.
But same thing with transitioning out of like your day job, right? A lot of people are just sick of the corporate world and want to build their startups. And so it's like, well, you could basically build a company that can fully replace the revenue that you are currently making under salary. That should be your first goal. Sure. After that, you can continue to grow. And of course, your company may be a $10 million company, but let's focus on that first million. Like, how can you get to the first $1 million in revenue for your company? And the growth paths are different, as you mentioned,
And basically back to self-awareness, like what do you really want out of this? Like that's really key, I think, to this whole
absolutely.
thing. And because there are a lot of desires. I want glory. I want
totally.
I want to be my own boss. I want to inspire and lead a whole bunch of people in a purposeful way. Getting clear about what your why is for what you really want out of this, and why you're doing this, I think is key.